Someone streamed their own job interview live and somehow still got the job.
Okay, this was technically my fault, but also it worked out, so you're welcome.
3,000 strangers watch me talk about encryption. I'm still not over it.
Inspired by the kind of story you'd find on Reddit, imagine you're sitting in the most important job interview of your life. You're dressed well, you've rehearsed your answers, you are ready, and then your phone buzzes, a notification, and it says, your live stream now has 3,000 viewers. You are not streaming, or at least, you thought you weren't.
No. That is my actual nightmare. 3,000 people watching a job interview. I would dissolve. I would literally just dissolve into the chair.
Okay, so, and I say this with love, that was technically my fault. Like mostly, 80% my fault, maybe 90.
Welcome to English Through Stories. I'm Oliver, and today Jake and Sophie are going to walk us through one of the most mortifying afternoons in recent memory, a job interview that somehow became a viral live stream. Jake, set the scene. Where does this disaster begin?
Okay, so Sophie had this huge interview coming up, like dream job stuff. A big tech company, software development team, the whole deal. And she was so stressed about it, she asked me to help her practice the night before.
Which was dead kind of him, honestly. Jake is actually proper good at mock interviews. He asks good questions. I didn't know he was also about to ruin my life.
So I'm recording our practice session on my tablet, just so Sophie can watch it back later, right? And I'm using this app I have for streaming, but I only use it for gaming, never for anything real. And I thought I had it set to, like, private recording mode.
For those learning with us today, let's pause on that word, streaming. To stream means to send or receive audio or video live over the internet in real time. When you watch a football match live on your phone, or watch someone play video games online as it happens, that's streaming. Jake was using a streaming app. He believed it was only recording. He was, as we say, very wrong.
He'd accidentally switched it to public live stream mode the week before when he was doing one of his gaming sessions, and he never switched it back. So when he hit record on my practice interview, it went straight out, live, to all his followers.
In my defense, I have like 400 followers. Usually, I did not expect it to get shared around. That part was not in the plan.
Right, so the practice session streams live, unknowingly, to Jake's followers, some of whom, it turns out, found it genuinely entertaining. They started sharing it. By the time Sophie went to bed that night, the recording already had 800 views. Now, here's where it gets worse. Jake, tell them about the phone.
Okay, so, and again, love, I felt terrible about this. Sophie texts me the morning of her real interview and she's like, I don't have great Wi-Fi at the interview location, can I borrow your mobile hotspot? And I say yes, obviously, because I'm a good friend, mostly.
A mobile hotspot, right, for anyone who doesn't know, it's when you use your phone's internet connection and share it with another device. Like your phone becomes a little router. So I borrowed Jake's hotspot to connect my own phone to the internet before the interview, just to check my emails.
What I forgot to mention, what I genuinely did not think about, was that my phone was still logged into the streaming app. And when Sophie's phone connected to my hotspot, it also connected to my account. Because she downloaded the same app once to watch my gaming streams.
I didn't even open the app. I just connected to his hotspot and checked my emails. But in the background, my phone camera had somehow been given permission to start a new stream, under Jake's account, which by now had a lot more than 400 followers.
Now for our learners, let's talk about that word, permission. In technology, permission means the right or access that you give an app or a program to use something on your device, your camera, your microphone, your location. When Sophie connected to Jake's account, the app already had camera permission on her phone, and it used it.
I'm sitting at home, right, and I get this notification that someone is streaming from my account. And I'm like, what? I'm literally holding my phone. I'm not streaming. So I open the app and I see it's Sophie, on camera, sitting in a waiting room, in her nice interview blazer, looking very professional and completely unaware.
Meanwhile, I'm just sitting there reviewing my notes, thinking about algorithms and problem-solving questions, not unusual, totally calm, totally oblivious.
How many viewers at this point, Jake?
When I first opened it, like 300. But the chat was going absolutely wild because people recognized Sophie from the practice session the night before. They were like, "Oh my gosh, she got the real interview, let's go." They were rooting for her. It was actually kind of wholesome, and also absolutely catastrophic.
I found out none of this until after. During the actual interview, I'm in there, I'm doing my thing. They asked me about my experience with user interface design, and I gave what I thought was a brilliant answer.
User interface, or UI, is another great word for our learners. The user interface is everything you see and interact with on a screen, the buttons, menus, icons, the layout of an app or website. When a designer makes an app easy and enjoyable to use, they're creating a good user interface. Sophie, what was your brilliant answer?
I said, and I'm proud of this, I said that a great user interface is like a well-designed kitchen. Everything should be where your hand reaches naturally. You shouldn't have to think. And the interviewer actually nodded and wrote something down. I thought I was smashing it.
She was smashing it. I was watching from home like a proud parent. The chat was sending little heart emojis. Someone made a fan account. It was a beautiful moment, okay? I just also felt absolutely terrible.
By now, 3,000 people are watching Sophie's job interview live. Jake is desperately trying to end the stream, but he's locked out. Sophie's phone is the active device, and he doesn't have physical access to it. He tries texting Sophie. She has her phone on silent. He tries calling, also silent. He is watching, helpless, as the viewer count climbs.
And then, and this is the bit that still makes me want to crawl under a duvet and never come out, they asked me a technical question about data encryption.
Oh no, I remember watching this part.
Data encryption for the learners, because one of the interviewers actually explained it to me like this. Encryption is when you scramble data so that only someone with the right key can read it, like putting your diary in a lockbox. It protects private information when it travels across the internet.
Encryption is used everywhere in technology, your banking app, your messages, your emails. When you see a little padlock symbol on a website, that means the data is encrypted. It's essential for keeping information secure. Now, Sophie, what happened when they asked you about it?
I gave a really good answer about encryption standards and why they matter for user trust. I was dead confident. And then right in the middle of my answer, my phone, which is face up on the table because I'd been checking the time, my phone lights up with a notification from the streaming app that says in big letters, "Your live stream has reached 3,000 viewers. Congratulations."
The app sends a congratulations notification at certain milestones. I completely forgot about that feature. That was the feature that ended me.
The interviewer looks at my phone. I look at my phone. We both look at each other. And she goes, very calmly, dead professional, she goes, "Are you currently streaming this interview?"
Oh dear.
I said, and I quote, "I genuinely have no idea what is happening right now," which was true, 100% true. And then I scrambled to open the app, and there it is, me, on screen, in the interview room, with a chat full of people sending supportive messages like "You've got this, Sophie," and little fire emojis.
The chat was so supportive, though. Like, honestly, the internet showed up for her that day. Someone even typed out a suggested answer to the encryption question in real time, which Sophie obviously could not use, but the sentiment was there.
Now let's talk about what Sophie did next, because this is actually the impressive part. She had a split-second decision to make. She could panic, apologize, and leave, or she could handle it with grace. Sophie.
I closed the stream, finally, blessedly closed it, and then I looked at the interviewer and I said, "I am so sorry. I have to be completely transparent with you. I have absolutely no idea how that happened, but I take full responsibility for it being on my device, and I completely understand if this disqualifies me." And I meant every word.
She didn't throw me under the bus in the moment, even though I was absolutely under the bus. I was so far under the bus.
The interviewer, she was quiet for a second, right, just looking at me, and I'm thinking it's over, it's done, I've ruined everything. And then she goes, 3,000 viewers, in real time, and I said yes. And she goes, "What was the engagement like?" And I didn't know whether to laugh or cry.
Engagement, another key word from the world of technology and social media. Engagement refers to how people interact with online content, likes, comments, shares, reactions. High engagement means people are actively responding to what they see, not just watching passively. It's a huge metric for anyone working in tech or digital media.
I told her the engagement was, very positive, enthusiastic even, and she laughed. She actually laughed. And then she said, I could not make this up, she said. Well, our company works heavily with content delivery networks and live video platforms, so accidentally achieving 3,000 concurrent viewers might actually be relevant experience.
A content delivery network. Can I explain this one? So a CDN, right, is basically a system of servers spread around the world that makes sure video and content loads fast for everyone, no matter where they are. So when 3,000 people are watching a live stream at the same time, a content delivery network is what stops it from crashing and buffering constantly.
Beautifully explained, Jake. And buffering, which Jake just mentioned, is that frustrating moment when a video pauses because the data isn't loading fast enough. The little spinning circle, everyone knows the spinning circle. A good content delivery network, or CDN, reduces buffering by spreading the load across multiple servers globally.
So the interview continued, a bit surreal, a bit weird, but it continued. And at the end, the interviewer shook my hand and said my response to the unexpected situation showed composure under pressure and quick ethical thinking. I rang Jake the second I got outside.
She rang me and the first thing she said was, I'm going to kill you, and the second thing she said was, but it might be fine. And I was like, those two things together, that's the most Sophie sentence I've ever heard.
It was proper fine, as it turned out. They offered me the job 2 days later. In the offer email they genuinely mentioned, that my calm and transparent response to a live technical incident demonstrated values aligned with their engineering culture. I framed that email.
She got the job, accidentally live-streamed her interview to 3,000 strangers, and got the job. Jake, do you have anything to say for yourself?
I have many things to say for myself. First, I'm sorry. Second, you're welcome. Third, I have since updated all my app permissions and turned off auto stream, and I will never, ever, not even once, lend my hotspot to anyone ever again. And fourth, I genuinely think the encryption answer she gave was brilliant and the internet agreed.
The internet did agree. Someone clipped that bit, and it got like 40,000 views on its own later. So now I'm basically a tech influencer, which I did not audition for, but here we are.
And that, dear learners, is the story of how Sophie accidentally became a live-streamed job interview sensation, all thanks to one wrong permission setting, one forgotten app, and one very chaotic best friend. Now, let's quickly run through the technology words we learned today.
Streaming, sending live video or audio over the internet in real time. Permissions, the access you give an app to use your camera, microphone, or other features. User interface, everything you see and touch on a screen. Encryption, scrambling data so only the right person can read it.
Engagement, how people interact with online content. Content delivery network, a system that spreads video and data around the world so it loads fast. And buffering, that painful spinning circle when your video won't load. All words I now know very, very personally.
And a mobile hotspot, when your phone shares its internet connection with another device, which is a wonderful, useful feature that you should absolutely use carefully with full awareness of which apps are currently active on your account. Isn't that right, Jake?
That is absolutely right, Oliver. Check your apps, people. Check your permissions. Update your settings. And maybe, just maybe, don't lend your hotspot to someone who is about to walk into the most important meeting of their life. Learn from me. I am the cautionary tale.
He really is, but I love him for it. Kind of, mostly. The job is dead good, so I've decided to forgive him. He's on a 6-month probation, though.
Thank you so much for listening to English Through Stories. If you enjoyed today's episode, please like, subscribe, and perhaps most importantly, check your streaming settings before you do anything important. We'll see you next time.
Did this make you laugh? Drop us a like.
Hit follow and never miss a story.
Subscribe to English Through Stories. Find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. See you on the next episode.